He goes, Dad, can I tell you something? I said, what's up? He said, I love you. Bro, I said, you can't beat that. Unpromptu. I'm not
Not
doing
even.
it special. I'm just helping my man wipe down and change his clothes. That's it, man.
Welcome back, y'all. It's your boy Kevin B. the Brand, and this is Dear Legacy, episode 16, y'all. If you're new here, let me tell you what this show is all about in about 2 sentences. It's real conversations, real life. It's about fatherhood, manhood, entrepreneurship, mental health, marriage, legacy. It's a whole bunch of things wrapped into one. When we sit down, we have these type of conversations, right? The things you think about and don't always say out loud. Every single week we show up and we do the work that is asking us how we could be better. And that's the question that we demand out of ourselves. Not questions that make us look good, but questions that make us grow, right? Because legacy isn't something you leave behind. I say this time and time again. It's something that you build every single day, you know? And today we're building with somebody, right? I've been teasing it for a while. We finally got the Caden episode out there. We doubled back and did a nice little recap to close out the solo chapters. Not saying that it's going to be gone forever, but, it's time so we start hearing some other voices, other people that is building their legacy in real time. And this is why I built this platform, to share that type of moment so that everybody could learn and grow with each other along the way, right? And it's good that I'm getting on to have this conversation, especially on a day like today. Days like today is the days where we don't feel like pushing forward for whatever reason it may be. And today, I'm not going to lie, y'all, we're going green because my Celtics, they hurt my heart today. They hurt my heart. And when stuff like this happens, it could derail you easily, real fast. But, everybody has their own legacy that they're building. And right now, it's time to do the hard. It's time to actually focus up and have these conversations with other personnel, so that we could get back to the normal flow of state of things, and we get back to more than Jaylen Brown being traded in a little bit. But now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the guest that we're going to have on the show with us today. Before I bring him on, I want to say this first, right? Some people show up in your life and you just you don't just see them. They make an impact on your life, right? Not for what they're doing, not for what they've built, but for who they're becoming at the same time. That's what this man is right here that we're about to bring on. He's a husband, a father, an entrepreneur. He started a streetwear brand, Galactic Vibes, and turned it into something bigger than clothing. It's a movement. Sounds familiar? It's what we're doing here in Dear Legacy, you know what I mean? And but over at Galactic Vibes, it's built around one idea. The energy you put out today shapes the life you're living tomorrow. He wrote a children's book with his family for his boys because he understood early that the stories your kids grow up with become the stories they tell themselves. He lost over about 55 pounds, y'all, on his journey, on his weight loss journey. Then competed in bodybuilding competitions, set state powerlifting records, then ran marathons on top of it. Every time the ceiling got comfortable, he found a new one. That's how you build a legacy in real time, guys. But here's what matters most to me. He does all this while being intentional about who he is at home, while building assets with his boys that his boys can inherit later on, while creating a life that outlasts the resume. That's legacy. My brother, Renaud Alexandre, welcome to Dear Legacy. Y'all make it loud, make it loud, make it loud. Make it loud for that man, y'all. There
Boom,
he
boom,
is.
boom, boom. What is up?
There he is. What's the word, my guy?
Chilling, brother.
You'll see the intro later on when the show gets released, but
All right,
talk you up, my good brother.
You said the intro. Oh, you already did the intro?
Well, you know I did, my good guy. I tested my recording. It ain't gonna be like, guys, let me tell you something. This man did me a very good solid, right? This was my first time last night. We were supposed to record this, and it was gonna be my first guest. not in person, right? Because my first guest was Caden, and you go and check out that episode. It's out right now. But that one was in person. So we had some major technical difficulties last night. And after about 45 minutes of waiting patiently, trying to let me troubleshoot this, we eventually had to call it in and reschedule. And this man not only let me reschedule on him, but gave me even more time to show up today. So I appreciate you for giving me that time and the platform
Problem.
to talk this legacy thing. But before we jump into it, go ahead and tell the people who you are, what you stand for, and where. Just tell them about you, man. Let us know about you. Galactic Vibes all over the place, man.
Okay. Sorry about that. I don't use Riverside. It was telling me my tabs was slowing the things down. So as I was exiting the tabs, my screen went blank. But I can still hear you. But it's fixed. Yeah, what's going on? My name is Renaud, aka GP. Galactic Protein on Instagram. Galactic Vibe is basically what I believe is the energy that we all bring and how we can build community and the best versions of ourselves forward. Um, I've done a bodybuilding competitions. I've run a marathon. I've done powerlifting meets. I've set powerlifting state records. I've come in first, second, and third. I'm about to represent the House of Urban Powerhouse that's located in Hyde Park under Ron's Bowling next to the police station in Hyde Park in states this year. So, which will probably be my last powerlifting meet in a very long time.
Lies.
I'm set to retire.
Lies.
No, no, no. I'm set to retire until our sons when they're ready to do their first powerlifting meet. The goal is to do one as a family. So I'll do two more. After that, I'm done. I'm gonna be one of those dads that complains about not having time to work out. That I can only work out for 30 minutes and enjoy it, stuff like that. But yeah, self-motivated, got a clothing line. The goal is to do some gym, but mostly streetwear and mainly this is one of the best sellers right here. Celestial Bloom tees, Galactic Vibes. The 13.8 represents how long the universe has been active. 13.8 billion years. The main creation of the streetwear really is because I got one I got tired of watching my friends and family members wear the big brands. And also I wear black too much. As I'm on here wearing the black shirt,
Black
I
t-shirt.
yeah, I wear black too much. So I wanted to create something one for the culture of people that don't want to stand out but do stand out because they're
Got you.
different. And then also make them come in different colors. So we got lots of t-shirts on coming down the pipeline. We got one shirt, I'll let y'all in on it. We got a shirt coming out that represents Haiti and Japan. I'm Haitian American and Japan is a place I want to visit. I love their culture. So I had to find a way to combine the two. And then all those links are on my IG page. I'll send them to Kev so we can post them up. So then that way you can have access. You can shop around. Even if you just click and just look, window shop, I appreciate it. I appreciate the energy and the vibes. And again, thank you for having me on the show, man. I really appreciate what you're doing for the culture. Not a lot of times Black fathers or fathers in general get to talk about what it means to be a father and what the plan is for the future. And as I cut the grass today, I did realize a lot that a lot of people mess up generational wealth off of ego, The
Yep.
male ego is a dangerous thing. So I'm working to have my ego in check and stuff like that. So that in a nutshell, that's just me. I'm just a guy that, I get determined and then I go after it. And then after I make it happen, I either try to find something new to do or I just take some time off and just relax.
I appreciate you being here, brother. Like,
Yes, sir.
I don't want anybody to misconstrue. Like, this man earned the right to be on here
I
and talk to you
appreciate you.
guys today about this whole legacy thing, right? And
Oh, I
a
forgot.
lot of
Sorry.
time.
Sorry. One more thing. Sorry. Wrote a
Yeah.
children's book with the wife. Ramses Learns Kindness. Check that out on Amazon. If you want a hardcover, you can contact us as well on IG. Ramses Learns Kindness.
You better believe it. I have it. It's right here on this shelf over there.
Appreciate you, bro.
That's all the folks that hold on.
You know, sometimes I'm not gonna lie, man. Like I said, I do things and then move on. I forget that I'm an author. And we are working on book 2 that should drop this September.
There you go,
Yes,
right
sir.
here.
Yes, sir.
Ramses Learns. Put that right there for the good people to
Appreciate
see
you.
for a little bit. I do want to before I jump into my questions here, I do want to know what does galactic mean? Like, is it like universal? And I'm not into the spacey stuff, but I follow you on social media. It's a lot of space stuff. It's a lot of Japan culture. It's the anime and all that. Like,
Appreciate it.
what's the galactic, and then how did you get into anime before we really jump into these questions?
What was the first question? What
The
is the galactic?
galactic. What is it? Does it mean
Well,
something like?
yeah, for me, galactic is, you know, um, galactic is us. In hindsight, because the stars, the materials they find out that the stars are made of is in our DNA, is in our cells, is in our body. So we are from above, a higher being, you know what I mean? Galactic is, it's widespread, it's known and also unknown at the same time, and that's us. You know, every day you get a chance to know someone new, and every day you get to know yourself. So galactic really just represents the fact that things are unknown and known at the same time, and is vast. I think we
Mm.
should never stop learning, you know? It's very important to never stop learning. How did I get into anime? I guess 2 stories. One, I used to watch anime in Spanish, but I didn't know it was Spanish. I didn't know it was anime. Um, you know, flipping through the channels, we had Telemundo. I thought it was just cartoons. To come to find out, it's anime. I don't know what they're saying. No captions are in Spanish. I
And
was like,
how
all
old are you at this point?
right. I guess maybe 5th grade, 6th grade, so probably 5th grade.
So you
You,
knew it was another language. You just chose to just stay on it.
yeah, it was the only thing that was on. It was in Spanish.
Got you.
You know,
Okay.
so
So we rocking with it. We're watching cartoons in Spanish, and we're like,
that's it.
this is it.
That's it. And great, it's great story. And it was Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, the Monkey King, stuff like that. And
Hmm.
then the other story, shout out, I never really remembered his name, but shout out to the Asian dude in computer class. This dude had no business talking to me, new to the class. He on YouTube. I don't even know what YouTube is. He's on YouTube and he goes, "Yo, bro, you want to see something?" I said, "We in computer class, sure." Da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. He puts on Bleach. And I said, watch it. Now I'm watching anime in Japanese with English subtitles. I say, yo, bro, this is fire right here. What we doing in this class? And then, yo, it's been like that ever since. I don't know what he's up to. If he ever listens to this podcast, shout out to you, bro. If you remember me, I tell people the story all the time. I just wish I remember his name. But then I think like maybe like 3 weeks into the class, he just left and never came back. So I don't ever know what happened to him.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. He put
And
me on, and that's
and
it.
and now yo, he was there just for that reason.
That's it.
So are the boys into anime now, or like, are you passing that on?
Yo, listen. They're more so into cartoons because Imana. There's a African. I guess technically they are. There's an African anime that's in HBO Max. It's 2 seasons. It's really good. You know, this African person created the anime. It's the manga, and then it got picked up. It's on HBO, so they was watching it. They watched that. Ramses, when we first started, anybody that watches Naruto, watch Naruto all the way to the best arc. So think about it like, um, think about watching the NBA season, right? All
Hmm.
you watch everything to the playoffs, right? And then the NBA finals about to start playing, and you go, "Nah, I don't want to watch it no more." So he basically watched it to the finals. that everyone to this day still talks about 30 years, 40 years after it was played, got to that part and then said,
Nah,
nah, I
this
don't
ain't
want to
for
watch.
me.
I said, no. Before he said anything, I turned the TV off. I said, before you say anything wild crazy, I'm turning this off because you're going to piss me off. Turn it off. Turn it off. So every time I try to revisit it, he's like, nah, he don't want to watch it. But recently he saw a picture of Dragon Ball Z and he was just like, yeah, daddy, I know who those are. And I was like, nah, I don't think you do. And then also when he was younger, I used to say the character's name. So randomly some days he would just say their names and stuff. But now he doesn't do that. I don't even bother. So I'm gonna wait till he gets a little bit older. The wife got me a picture of Goku and Gohan doing the father-son Kamehameha. So every time he comes into my office, he points to. He said, "Daddy, that's me and you." I'm like, "Yeah." So one day I'm gonna show him where it comes from, and
Yeah,
hopefully he watches it. But if not, it is what it is. I'm not sweating it. I think they'll both get into it eventually.
that's it's so funny how, and I've talked about this on other episodes, how like the person, well, it was by pomp and circumstance, right? Like you changed the channel and for some reason you just locked into it, right? And then somebody reaffirmed it by showing you something and then disappearing. Like
Yeah,
that's a true definition of there for a season, right?
yeah.
Season or a reason. He checked both boxes. He was
That's
there
it.
for a
That's it.
reason and just there for a season. Don't even remember his name. Man disappeared in the middle of the night. Like he was in witness protection. That's all I got out
Maybe
of that one.
he told on somebody. They say, "Yo, stay in this class real quick."
He went to an online server and it snitched him out. And it was like, we told you don't go back on this server.
That's it. Once
And
he
now you
showed me
gotta
that
go.
YouTube clip, it was over for him.
Yeah.
They said,
And
"Bro, they don't know
it's
nothing about it. What you doing?"
it's crazy though, because this is also like a continuation from my last conversation when we did the dad takeover on Roots to Reality. And I was like, bro, we gotta do this. Like, you gotta come on the pod. I want you to be the next guest. And you was like, yeah, let's do it. Little did you know that,
We here
we about
with
to
the official
get
card
into this
too.
situation. You know what I mean? So like, let's just jump right into it. And one thing that is going to be a staple here right off the bat, like we're going right into it. And I just need to know, in your definition, not Webster's definition, not what society told you, not what people expect from you, right? What does legacy mean to you?
I wish you told me earlier so I could look up what legacy means. But I believe legacy means, and I just seen it. I heard it Grits and Eggs podcast. There's a African proverb that basically says, "I'm here." Damn, what did he say? I can't remember now. I am here for you, basically. So basically saying, um, I'm doing things for a better you, and vice
Mm-hmm.
versa. So I believe legacy means that um, I'm here, and I might be planting the seed that grows to make the fruit tree, but I might never taste the fruit from the tree. So I
Mm,
really do think legacy is I'm putting in the work so that future generations can reap the benefits. And I'm okay with that. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So I'm just tilling the land, I'm planting the seeds, I'm watering, I'm being patient with the grass, I'm giving it tender loving care. So I really think that legacy is just I'm getting the future ready.
got you. And that's like, when I ask this, a lot of people's gonna have the same reaction, right? It's like, damn, I should have prepared. No, you shouldn't prepare. You know what legacy mean to you, right? And,
Yeah.
and it's like everybody likes to throw around that word, but until, like, our mantra is really define it, build it, live it. And what that
Mm,
means is define what it means to you,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like when we think about athletes and celebrities and rappers and all that stuff, like everybody's telling them what their legacy is, but they set their own definition what legacy is for whatever it could be. They want to be the next billionaire, they want to be the greatest of all time, or they just want to be able to provide for their family and never have to think about it again. Or like you, it's simple. I'm tilling the land for the next generation. And if you feel as though you're accomplishing that, then guess what? That's legacy fulfilled.
Yes, sir.
No matter what, nobody could tell you what this thing is. That's why I love the word legacy. And I feel as though it's been so loosely used that it's become a little cliche word, a buzzword that everybody just loves to hear. But like,
I agree.
do you even know what legacy? Hell, tell me what Webster's definition is to legacy. You know what I mean? Like some people can't even tell you that. They just know that it's a cool word to use right now, right? And building off of that, I like to talk about the three pillars of this legacy. So we're going to go down this journey where we're going to ask a couple questions. I'm going to ask questions about you. I'm going to ask questions that's going to be about the pillar of defining it, right? There's going to be questions where we're talking about how you're living the legacy, how you're building the legacy, right? And then we're just going to come around and have a couple more rapid fire questions. And then we're going to have some fun with this, right?
Yeah.
And there's no wrong answer. We're gonna let the conversation go. I go. I could have all these damn questions right here, but if the
And I agree
conversation's
with
going
you.
somewhere, I ain't stopping it. You know what I mean? You know how I roll. But going into the define it pillar, how do you define yourself? Not your title, not your resume, not what you do, but who are you? Who is Renard? Not the biography that we gave earlier. We know that. You ran a marathon and all that stuff, but like, how do you define yourself?
Man, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you because I'm in the male. Yeah, it's done on purpose. Yeah, I'm in the males book club, and man, we've been reading a lot of books. Like Men Heal Thyself, how to be a leader, how to talk to people and stuff like that. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Um, I'm still working on defining myself. I don't know who I am
I love that.
100%.
I love
I
that you said that.
Yeah, man. I see myself honestly, um, as a creator. So i- who I am is very vast. I can learn. Um, I could be motivated. I could pursue. I know it sounds crazy to say. I feel like I could do anything, and I feel like that's why I don't have like one thing to say who I am. So I am like what is it? I'm like O positive blood. You know what I mean? I'm just a little bit of
It's
everything.
universal.
Yeah,
It's
you know what
out
I
here.
mean? Who I am is a little bit of everything, you know? I really base myself on, I try my best to be a man of the people type of thing where I
Mhm.
really wanna learn to talk to anybody, be in any space, absorb energy, give out energy, um, so I would say if I had to put a little title on or whatever, I would say I am a creator. I'm the playmaker, you know what I mean? I wanna not to say that I force it, but I can do it if I have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair. So when you're out here thinking about legacy and building out your brand and being a father and all that, who do you feel as though shape you the most? And what part of them are you continuously carrying forward?
That's a good question. I would say my parents, and it's only because I'm a Libra for the people out there into
Gang gang.
all of that stuff. I am a Libra, so I strongly believe in balance. I believe in good and evil. So, um, like I said, as I was cutting the grass, I was actually cutting the grass at the parents' crib. Um, you know, I think about the positives I learned from my mom, the some positive I learned from my dad, and mostly the negativity that I learned from him to shape who I am. And then shout out to all the teachers, all the programs I were in. Shout out to all the mentors that were in there because like I said, I'm a creator, so everything and everyone I'm around really molds and helps me shape who I am. And then again, shout out to the mom because she took us to church. I would say very strong ethics and morals and empathy um really shapes who I am and like what I want to do and what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's why I would say I'm more of a creator than anything else. But mainly, I will say is my parents' dynamic
Mhm.
and what I took from them individually, and what I want to do and what I don't want to do from learning from them.
And do you think you're still continuously carrying that forward
Yeah,
from
man.
your parents?
Long story short, I'm learning a lot from my dad. That's why I say it all the time now because he's the only one that's alive. Um, uh, Unfortunately, people people can mess up generational wealth. Like I said, as I was cutting the grass, I'm like, yo, generational wealth is kind of crazy because in the present, someone could say, I don't care about the future and wipe everything out. And then now the next generation got to rebuild it and ask themselves, why do I have to start over? Why don't we have anything?
Yeah.
Why am I working so hard? You know what I mean? In real time, I'm watching a lot of things collapse that I gotta step in and like put the
Yeah.
pieces, pick them up, be like Samson from the Bible, bro, holding up pillars, and I'm like, I really don't want to do this, but every time I think about my mom's one statement, I'm buying a house in America for my kids, and I'm the first one with kids, and I want to honor that what she said because I've seen her struggle, I've seen her work hard, and I got kids, and I do want them to struggle and work hard, but I don't want them to struggle and work hard as I did. You know what I mean? Like I want them to understand what that means, like to work hard to earn something, to get something.
Get
Yeah,
something. Yeah, they got.
we leaving them stuff, but that's when
Mhm.
we gone. That's not right now. So right now, you need to know what it means to get these things and keep them and work hard with your hands and stuff like that. So, uh,
So let's stay on Mom Dukes right here because I've asked at least 3 questions now, and Mom's has been very pivotal.
yes,
Like
sir.
you talk about your dad, but it's a different essence when I feel you
Yeah.
talk about your mom. Let's go into that one. Like how was your upbringing, and how do you feel as though like that's in synergy with how you're raising your sons now?
Strong
2
Haitian
boys he has,
American
right?
woman, man.
2 boys, by the way, Roman and Ramses.
Yes, sir. Ramses and Roman, about to be 5, about to be 2. Strong Haitian. I said strong Haitian American woman. She would have been. Well, technically, she was a U.S. citizen.
I mean, they
Strong
became
Haitian woman.
citizens, so
Yeah,
yeah.
technically, yeah, but strong Haitian woman. What I learned from her, I'm gonna be real with you. As I think about my childhood, what I really learned from her, she just gave me the tools. And I
Yeah.
think that's the pinnacle thing is she gave me tools. It's not really that I don't want to say not showed me anything. I don't know how to explain this, but she gave me the tools. You know what I mean? I remember her working late before leaving. Yo, this is how you boil eggs. This is how you make the ramen noodles. This is how you cook the hot dogs in the ramen noodles. Make it happen, big dog. I'm not gonna be home. I remember because I seen an IG video where they said we used to call our parents at work for nothing. I used to call her at work, yo, blah 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 blah, yo, put it in the microwave this long, blah 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 blah. You good to go.
Yeah.
I remember, she had a car. Yo, mommy, can I use your car? Make sure you put some gas in it. Cool, I got you. Oh, mommy, I need $10. All right, here you go. You know, embarrassing story, but we were young at the time. I failed my permit test by I think one question. I went home. I said, "Yo, listen, please, don't tell dad because he's a jabroni. Let me get $20. I'll
I
have
told you,
enough."
I felt it. Your
Yeah,
mom's was a little bit higher than Pops.
yeah,
My
oh,
man said a jabroni.
2000%. She gave me the 20. I did it. When I got the money, I gave it back to her.
Yeah.
I remember her making me lunch for work, buying brisk iced tea lemonade. Just like I said, church, God fearing. I think that was the thing. She passed her God fearing. Because yo, man, listen, your boy wasn't a bad boy, right? I ain't get in trouble like that. But man, the 2 times your boy got close to getting a spanking. Man, listen, she was gonna light me up, but she gave me a pass. She didn't light me up. But yeah, she was just constantly. I really like her empathy. I really like her caring. I really liked her style. She didn't care to have friends, but she had friends. She really lived a holier than thou lifestyle with that energy as well, where she wasn't sweating nobody. She was, she did nice things. I mean, God rest her soul. She passed away bringing someone to a wake, and the person, instead of waiting, not to blame the person, but instead of waiting with her to get a ride home because she lived across the street, the lady left and she passed away in the car by herself. So, and
Damn.
that's the only thing
Sorry
that
about
really,
that.
thank you. That's the only thing that really pissed me off about her life. But I try not to carry that negative energy, is the fact that she cared so much about people and then passed away by herself. But they said you never by yourself. Your Lord and Savior is always with you.
That's a fact.
Um, and the EMTs or the doctor, whatever, the nurse was like, she passed away. She didn't feel no pain. So, that's the best thing you can ask for. You know what I mean? That's why I say all the time, like, bro, use that sick time, use that PTO, because she went to work, she picked up the lady, she went to the wake, and then passed away. You know,
That's crazy.
I want to pass
And,
away at home. I ain't trying to go to work the day before. You know what I mean?
listen,
They ain't getting a nine to
trying.
five
I'm
out of
trying.
me.
I'm trying to be on the beach, bro.
Yes, sir.
Like, had a beautiful day with my wife, and
That's
now
it.
we gonna take a nap. Like, sorry, Tiff, he gone.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, and I told Tiff she ain't got a choice. I gotta go first.
Oh
I gotta
man,
go
you sound like
first.
Rachel. You
Nah,
wild.
nah, I can't do it, bro. Like Tiffany, leave me, boy. And you got me out here boo-hooing like a big old baby back bitch, because that's what it's gonna be. And then I'm gonna be secluded. I don't want to do nothing.
You gotta take care of
Like,
everybody now.
what? What? By then, Kanan a grown ass man with his own family. So I got nothing.
Yeah,
Nah,
he gotta come visit you.
no. Visit me. Now you move in.
Oh my
You're
goodness.
back to
He
movie. Bring your whole
bring his
family,
whole
brother.
family in.
Bring the whole family. I need my grandbabies. I need you. I need my daughter-in-law. Like, yeah, it's a whole family affair now. Like that's what? What? No, you're not doing it. Let's get back to it real quick before I go down on another tangent. Staying in the defiant moment. What did you have to unlearn to become who you are today and still becoming?
Um, I don't think there's much that I had to unlearn. I think what I had to learn was that it might sound cliche, but I had to learn that there's evil in the world. Not everything is sunshine and rainbows. I basically had to learn that there's a lot of negativity in the world. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I knew the positive, and the positive kind of like outshadowed the negative when I was
Mm-hmm.
younger. But as I get older, and several things has happened, um, I had to realize that dang, like it's not always sunshine and rainbows, but it keeps me going because I think every man should read the Way of the Masculine Man. The title is very misleading, but it's a good book. But in the book, as you read, it really tells you the type of energy, the type of emotions, and how to control your emotions, the type of way to talk to people as a man in the book. And it also tells you, um, I'm not gonna give too much away, but who you should hang out with as a man. And I think those type of things help as I navigate through life and being myself, because it's, man, listen, it's easy to have an ego, man. The male ego is dangerous.
The fucked up drug,
Dangerous,
boy.
man. It
Listen.
is dangerous. Like
It'll put you in weird spots for
yes.
sure. For
On
sure.
top of on top of putting you in a weird spot, it'll have you saying some wicked wild things that you're
Yeah.
gonna have to backtrack. So it's not even worth it, man.
I feel as though some of the most successful people in life, not in business or in life, check their ego at some point.
Got to.
At
Got to.
some point, you look at, like, prime example. Everybody know I'm a big ass Hove fan. We 30 years deep into this joint. You know what I mean? That man practically raised me through music, right? But when I look at it, you look at Dame Dash and Biggs that was side by side with this man. Biggs' career soaring. Emery, Tata, Lenny S, everybody that stayed down with Hove, they are successful men, 10 toes down by themselves, right? Not clout chasing, not hanging on to his coattails. Obviously, he paved the way. He
Yeah.
opened up some doors, but then opening up doors, when you walk through that shit, you're on your own.
Yep.
as a grown ass man. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying? And I feel as though when you look at the Dame Dash situation, that's ego.
Yeah.
Put your when you walked in that fucking door, bro. Put your fucking ego on the other side of that shit,
Yeah.
and I feel as though your life would have been a whole lot better. And there's countless of stories that where that's the situation. Like if you just take your ego out of the situation, how different your life could actually be. Now, I'm not telling you to dim your light. I'm not telling you none of that shit. There's a difference, right? You could walk into the room as him, but at the same time, check your ego. You know, um,
And that's why I said it's dangerous because you know, a lot of times, like you just said, people think it's about dimming your light, but that's why, like I said, the way of the masculine man, it tells you about using your masculine and feminine energy. You know what I mean?
mhm.
We all have it. Men tend to lead towards that masculine energy, but it's turned up, and that's what gets you in trouble. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
in a certain situation, your feminine energy should kick in, where you're just like, oh, okay, man, you know, I don't rock with what you say, so I'm gonna exit. I'm just gonna take off. It's all good, no bad blood. So you know that's one of the things for me that I didn't know any of that. Is just like I said, as I observe people, as I observe my father, as I observe his life,
Mhm.
you know, something happened. He thought he was gonna pass away, and then I I I'm the black sheep of the family. I'll just be real. So there was a situation where I had to go to Haiti. I went to Haiti, a little bit post C-19, which is COVID, and then I just saw a lot. You know, my eyes got open. So when I came back home, I was like, bro, I do not need to fake the funk. You know,
Yeah.
I got emotional because, you know, I have my first son and, you know, that's his grandfather. So I'm like, yo,
Mhm.
you know, let me fake this relationship. I liked him as a young lad. I didn't like him when when I got when I got to college, I really didn't like him like that. And it got even worse um post college. But, you know, I said, all right, cool. I'm an adult. I have a kid. I got a wife. Let me just switch it up. Let's take the corny. I say it's corny now, but it's not. I can't wait for the boys to have kids. I'm gonna be in all their pictures. I'm gonna be taking selfies with their kids. I'm gonna spoil their kids, all of that stuff. But I was like, yo, let's take the pictures. Let's do this. And then, you know, the energy wasn't there. And then that's also when I realized, bro, you can't force that energy, man.
Yeah.
It is
So
what it is.
let's sticking on this and the unlearning part. It's not necessarily unlearning. It's what I could already see, like I said earlier, the difference between how you feel about moms and pops. Now, pops, jabroni as he may be, what did you take from him that you either added to your toolkit or made sure like, nah, that's not coming with me as a new father?
I'm gonna talk about the positive. I would say, you know, he knew he didn't go to school. He knew that you know, he told me, I asked him, he told me how he got into America. You know, with this current administration, I won't be saying how he got here because you never know. Um, you just never know. He is a US citizen though. He got his all his stuff taken care of, but you never know. But what I said, what I took from him, even though he said it in a negative way, but it was positive, but it's true. He always used to say, the people you're watching on TV already made it. So why are you watching TV? I said, dang, you know, I was like, you got that? They're on, you know, technically some of them haven't made it. They're just on TV, but you
Yeah.
got that. Um,
The
yeah,
premise still
the
stands
premise
so.
is there. And then one thing that he did all the time was he made us read on the weekends, and then we had to write. We have to basically copy what was in the book in a notepad. Um over and over to the point where my penmanship is really nice. Like I really do like my penmanship. You know, when I'm in a good mood, I'll go out and buy a nice pen. That way I can write really nice. If I have to, but I don't really have to write as much as I used to. So it's free time when I'm doing it, which is nice that I carry over. So, you know, I make sure Ramses reads. You know, he's the top reader in his class. Um he basically shocked all the teachers this year. They didn't know what to do with him. They called us into a meeting. We thought he got in trouble, and it was like, no, he's a star reader, and we're trying to figure out what kind of program we want to put him on that he's not bored. So that's dope. When they gave him reading assignments, I make sure that he writes it correctly. It's nice and neat. So we're working on that. So education, I would say education, even though he went about it a weird way, education is very important.
Mhm.
So that's something that I carry over a lot in a positive way for the kids. Negative that I will say that I make sure not to carry over is the fact that he never said he loved us. He never he never really encouraged us either, unless it was something that was popular. And I think that's why for me, I don't really like things that are popular. I like people that are popular, but I don't like things that are popular. And the reason why I said the people thing is to talk about anime real quick. Right now, anime and people coming out saying that they like anime, especially celebrity, it's on a rise, right? But if you're a real anime fan and you listen to the celebrities talk about anime, you're like, I don't. This sounds like you're just talking about what's popular, not like you really know what's going on. Like, for example, you said 30 years of Jay-Z. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Jay-Z songs that didn't make the radio that are not that popular to people. But as a Jay-Z fan, you're like, this song is really fire. If you're a
Yeah.
fan,
Right.
you know this song. And if you
Kingdom
don't know this,
Come, American Gangster. There's a
yeah,
couple. There's albums.
yeah.
There's
So,
albums of it.
um,
So
yeah, that's something right there. So I guess it is childhood trauma that I'm learning now. That's childhood trauma. But one time, what happened was I built. I like Lego. I guess I still like Legos. Whatever. I built this Lego spaceship out of the Lego pieces that we had. This mofo looked at it and was just like, "Oh yeah, you wasting your time," type of thing, and walked away. And my mom came and she was like, "Oh, that's really nice. This very creative. What you did here." I was like, "All right, that's dope." So now, bro, that's why I'm kids. We go to Home Depot every first Saturday of the month. We do the tool kits. I just bought him 5 what is it, DYE? Do it build it yourself, whatever it's called. Kits. I just be anything to create something, I just be buying it. If they want to do it, if Ramses wants to do it, let's do it. If he don't, I do it myself. Um, but yeah,
definitely DIY.
yeah,
Do it yourself.
DIY. There you go. DEI.
DIY.
No,
You
DEI.
said DEI.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so that's my mindset, man. Yo, bro, you know what's crazy too? Because we on here, right? We had swim today, and I forgot to tell the wife, but as we're changing our clothes, well, as he's changing his clothes, I'm wiping him down, putting his stuff on. He goes, "Dad, can I tell you something?" I said, "What's up?" He said, "I love you." Bro, I said, you can't beat that.
No,
Unpromptu. I'm
not
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 doing
even.
anything special. I'm just helping my man wipe down and change his clothes. That's it, man. So
That's just I was just recording with your wife our podcast that we have, and like Kaden wanted to just sit in here. I'm like, all right, cool, just sit down, just know I'm recording or whatever. And he's minding his own business, and then your wife turns over to him and she asked him a question. I forget what the question was, but it was like unprompted, unscripted, and he was like, oh, she was like, the question was, what do you think makes your dad strong? And my man said, his love. I said, oh shit.
that's it, man.
Come on now,
That's
we ain't
it.
doing this, young fella. You about to have
Yeah,
me out here
man.
crying and shit. I'm ready
Yeah,
to strut from Jalen Brown being traded, and now you gonna hit me with
bro.
this at my heartstrings.
We gotta talk about that JB situation. It's ridiculous.
It's fucking
Um,
ridiculous.
but
Don't
yeah,
get me started on that one.
yeah.
Let's because speaking of traumatizing shit that happened today. You say you're fighting childhood trauma. Are we in therapy?
No, we're not in therapy. This is gonna sound arrogant. I don't need therapy, but I would like a session or two just to see how therapy works because I'm a thinker as well. So I like to see how people do things, how things work. I really don't get therapy. I did have a semi session in the first, I think like 5 or 8 minutes. We was just doing this, And that's why I was just like, so what are we doing here? Like, we're just looking at each other. But it's because I'm a thinker, man. Uh, bro, man, since childhood, I just been thinking. It's just, I think when it comes to childhood trauma or having trauma that's not physical, like someone beat you or like held you down or whatever, it's hard to know that it's trauma. For me personally, that's what I think, because I'm like, okay, well, these are my parents. It's not like they're abusing me. But if you kind of think about it, the fact that I'm with 38, about to be 39, my dad didn't really start saying he loved me until I started having to help him in his older age. I don't need it now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
No, trust me, I get it. I didn't. My mother didn't tell me she loved me till I was in Afghanistan. I was like, motherfucker, I'm about to, and then it
anything can
fucked with me
happen.
because it fucked with me because I was like, now I'm gonna go die.
Just go.
Because I heard you said that shit. Now Jesus probably will be like,
Game
well,
over.
go in peace. Like, boy, that shit fucked my whole world up. Now, I was so cautious for about like 2 weeks in Afghanistan, bro.
You
Like
know?
any little whiz or crackle I heard, I was ready to fight everybody. Like, no,
Yeah, so
don't do it. These 2 weeks, it's a dangerous trigger figure right here.
yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, but um and that's the other thing. Man, I believe I gotta double check my memory banks, or I gotta ask him again. I don't think he was there when I was born. Um, so that's another thing that was, because I asked him. That's another thing that's crazy. But man, being there, seeing Ramses be born, brother, man,
can't beat that feeling.
I'm
Can't
like,
beat that
bro,
feeling. Not even a little bit.
you know what I mean? How can I not tell my mans I love him? Like, even when he pisses me off, like, I know in Rooster Reality, y'all talked about it. My man pissed me off with his penmanship. I said, bro, just go upstairs, man. Don't even finish your homework. Get up out of here. Cause I felt the ass whooping coming. I was like, bro, get out of here, man. Go to sleep. And
Just
he
go away.
crying.
Take night.
Yeah, and as he was going up the stairs, I already put in my head, I said, bro, tomorrow, make sure you go in there, you tell him you love him, tell him it's not, you're not mad at him or whatnot, you just wanted him to do his work. Yo, my man crying, I'm watching TV, I'm putting the volume on, I'm not listening to this. He crying as loud as possible. I said, ah. And as I'm making my way upstairs, that's when Rachel texted me, was like, yo, he's not gonna go to sleep unless you tell him you love him. And that's when I told him, I went upstairs, I said, yo, bro, listen. I love you. I just want you to do your work right. All right. You playing around too much. Just do your work correctly. Even if I get mad at you, frustrated, you can't do nothing to me that's gonna make me not love you. I love you. And then I gave him a hug, and then he went to sleep, and stuff like that. So, like I said, when it comes to him, the positives are the fact that he pushed education, even though he wasn't there himself, but he pushed hard for education. He just did it a little wrong. That's why I'm like, all right, whatever. But mainly it's learning from his negativity of not saying, he love us, not saying, yo, this dude, sorry, long story short, this dude, I needed $500 to buy a car. I say, yo, bro, let me,
You
let
said
me
to buy a car?
to buy a car. I had the rest of the money. I just need 500.
Oh,
This
okay,
is back
okay.
in the day when cars were
Yo,
affordable.
my man said
I said,
$500. I was like, what are you, Flintstone in that
yeah,
bitch?
I said, yo, roll the windows down manually, baby. Get a CD tick deck in there, baby. I said, yo, let me borrow the 500. Let me borrow the 500, and I'll give it back to you on Friday when I get paid. Bro, this man yapping and yapping and yapping and yo, to the point I said, yo, never mind. I don't even want the money, man. You all good. So that's one of the things that I learned from him too, is that I need to find a balance on how to talk to the boys and give them life lessons without making it yapping so much. One of my boys'
Hmm.
dad, R.I.P. Wayne, that's something I learned from him, right? He was hard on his kids almost his whole life until my boy, his second son died. And then when his second son died, he basically had to change his life. He had to learn how to be a different man in that moment.
Mm.
And I saw him make the change. I saw him work hard on making the change. So, it's things like that too that I learned from other men, watching and observing them, that I just gotta find the balance on how I talk and teach life lessons to him, to the boys at least,
So,
to make sure they stay
so,
right.
so
But they learn the lessons too.
you cool. Try to skate past this. So I'm gonna swing this
Go
back
back to it.
around
What is it?
with
My fault.
I love the answers for sure, but I want to push on this one just a little bit because this is part of the whole legacy building is being in tune with our mental. Because when our mind's not straight, I don't feel as though we're going to build this legacy thing, however it is that you want to build it, the way that we need to build it, especially for something that yes, we're living it in real time. It's not something that we're necessarily leaving behind, but in actuality, we are leaving it
Yeah.
behind. Like you're saying to me, the childhood traumas, like there's a couple stories that just stood out where you was like, it might be my trauma. We joke, we laugh, we push past, but at the same time, it's like you're also telling me I don't want to do therapy. Now, your first therapy session, it did sound like a bunch of bullshit, and I could see why you wanted to walk away from it. Like, why were y'all? Did he tell you why y'all was just staring at each other? Like, what was going on? Like, is that some new age form of therapy or
I don't
some shit
know.
like that?
I think the therapist was waiting for me to talk and bring something up, I guess, but they didn't say that, so I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah.
So okay, long story short, I wasn't trying to skate past your question, but
No, 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 you're good. You're
no,
good.
yeah,
You're
but
good.
real
It's
talk,
not a
I am
it's not a normal conversation
yeah,
for our for black men, for our community as Haitians. Like that's not forefront, right?
yeah,
So we're trying to get it to the place because we're raising the next generation and crop of black boys in America, right?
yeah,
That are living a different lifestyle that we're used
that's
to.
true.
And we got to make sure like they gonna oddly enough, it's gonna sound crazy. They're gonna have their own traumas to deal with.
Yeah,
Even with us being present, even
yeah,
with them living a different lifestyle that they have different world problems that we will never understand nor know, right? But if they're not seeing us being willing to go out there and have these conversations with the professionals, because it took me 4 different therapists before I finally settled on one. Like the
or
personal one that I use, not the VA ones. The VA ones that shit gets assigned to you, and they know they're specific in their niches, right?
yeah,
But like the everyday one that I use, it took me about 4 different ones before I got like, and some of these therapists they're weirdos, bro. I get
I
it.
believe
they,
it.
they live up to what the stereotypes are, but when you find that one that you connect with, and it's trial by error, right?
Yeah,
I don't want you and I know you wasn't trying to skate by it. I think we go on our tangents and we're not thinking about it because it's not something that's your everyday norm, but I would want it to be part of your everyday norm.
no, I would say I do
I
think
do
about
think.
therapy, but my thing is, and maybe that's why I need to go to therapy or whatever. I'm a thinker. I every day I'm like constantly thinking of like what's this? Why this? Like I said, I like the men's group that we're in the books that we're reading. I know for me, I purposely pick books that kind of deals with what I got going on or what
Mm-hmm.
I need help with. So then as I'm reading it, as we read it as a group, we talk about it every week. So, man, shout out Marcel since I'm shouting out everybody else. Shout out Marcel. He runs a stretching business online base, fit.cf. Check him out on IG. He started the book club. So we read financial books, we read AI books, we read books about helping yourself, self-help books, business books, all sorts of books. So shout out to him, and we always take turns. So that's the only reason why I think about therapy, but I also don't think about therapy because
Mm-hmm.
I'm constantly just thinking about um like I said, the ego thing. You know what I mean? That's the only real reason I realized the ego is dangerous. I look at my dad's situation, family situation, and then um I look at my situation, and then same thing when I come home. I purposely when I come home, bro, all that stuff is out the door. I'm coming in the crib, positive energy. How was your day? Who made you laugh? Who made you do this? Who made you do that? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? What's your friend's name? Did you eat lunch with blah 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 blah? Blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm having a good time. So I'm always thinking about the same thing with um the wife. The wife when I see that masculine energy's coming up too high, whoa, baby, come in. Let me give you a hug. Come on now. What you trying to eat? You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to diffuse myself, diffuse them so that the crib can be peaceful and it's more of a positive mindset in the forefront where we're just building on just being a family unit. Like same thing where they said it on Instagram. Someone did a post where do things with your kids, they may take longer but it's gonna mean something to them. Bro, I go outside, water
Mm-hmm.
the grass, my man's over here squirting the grass, making money. The Caribbean comes out, yo, bro, you making mud. I said water the grass. I didn't say do all of this. Relax. You know what I mean? But I'm showing him how to water the grass. And I literally told him, I said, one day this is gonna be your grass. And I'm getting it ready for you. So this is gonna be your grass. And he's like, oh, this is gonna be my grass. This is gonna be your grass. So we gotta learn how to take care of it now. So I the only like I said, the only reason why I want to go to therapy or get a therapist is to see how it works, because I don't know how it
Yeah.
works. So then, if someone like you brings it up, then I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I understand. I did a therapy session. This is what we talked about. This is how it works. This is a blah 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 blah. Because
And
I like connecting.
the crazy thing is, you're not wrong in your answer, and I don't want this to
Yeah,
be like pushy thing. You need
no,
therapy. No, bro. I just figured out this whole therapy shit. You know what
no.
I mean?
I think everyone
And
should do
I'm
it.
not even freaking that consistent with it. But I know, I know when I be needing it. You know what I mean? I know
Yeah,
my trigger points and all that stuff. But at the same time, I was gonna say this: your men's group is a therapy session.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Not every therapy looks the same,
yeah.
because the another question I have is, what type of things are your outlets? Like for me, I love me a good casino. I love my golf.
There
Give
you
me
go.
my cigars and my little whiskey and my little good old cognac. I'm good
I'm
to go.
good.
I'm
He said,
easy,
I'm good
baby.
to go.
I'm easy. What do outlets look like for you?
My main outlet is the gym.
Yeah,
Man, listen, I love the
form of
gym, man.
therapy.
Right now it's not my body's not treating me that good, but I'm getting things done. But I really love the gym, man. The reason why I love the gym is the fact that not only are self-improvement, but bro, you can see other people improving in the gym too, man.
Hmm.
Um man, shout out homie again. I never got his name. Shout out homie, military guy. He was at the gym. Man, that dude used to put in work, man, bro. I remember one time somebody was harassing him and he straight up looked at him, yo, bro, I'm just here to work out. I don't care about none of this other stuff. I said, damn, that's a real, you know what I mean? Like they were trying to bully him off the machine type thing. He's like, bro, I don't care about nothing else but just working out. So I really love the gym. That's one of my main outlets. And then also, I'm part of an anime podcast group called the Triverse. So I love with three
Father
generation
who?
Triverse, Triverse podcast. So we're three
Like try
generation
try
Tri
TRI
Yep,
verse.
TRI and then verse. So three
Okay,
generations of anime watchers. We come together. We talked about different topics and how like anime relates to it. So we also talk about hip hop. We talk about fitness. We talk about video games. So we just basically correlate our lives back to everything that we do and everything that we watch and everything that we listen. So um,
I love it.
yeah, so watching anime is dope whenever I can. What's another one of the outlets? It used to be video games, but I don't play as much. But I love playing video games with Ramsey. He'd be excited. Dad, can we go down to your office and play video games? Cool, man. What you trying to play? It's a little frustrating sometimes because I'm like, bro, this is a two-player game. You're not moving, buddy. Push the buttons. Do something. I'm carrying the team right now. Come on, man. You like do
For
something.
real.
But it's a good time. But also, which is crazy, is reading, man. I enjoy reading the books that we read, man. I am trying to work on reading outside of the group. So every once in a while I'll read a different book too, one or two pages and stuff like that. So that's one of the main things. And then the new thing really is cooking too. And I'll say it on this podcast because we talking about legacy. Your girl, your co-host of Roots to Reality, one day said, "Yo, I don't think you can survive without me." I said, "I beg you." I said, "Girl, you don't know I can cook, man. Just because I don't cook, don't mean I can't cook, baby." So, I took over the cooking, not only to show her again, male ego at first,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I didn't say nothing crazy. The male ego said, "Nah, I'm gonna take over the cooking," right? And tap into the feminine energy where I didn't say anything wild crazy. You see,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
used
yeah.
both at the same time. So I've been doing the cooking, especially it was really nice to take over the cooking for her prep. She's the I think second. She definitely in the top 3 strongest women in Massachusetts, so it was really nice to be able to cook her meals so that she could focus on lifting and working out, and making sure that she was getting the nutrition that she needed and stuff like that as well. So I would say it's the gym, it's cooking, it's reading, watching anime whenever I can or a TV show, something like that.
Shit, you
And
got a lot of outlets.
yeah, and I'm not gonna
Got
lie,
more
I
than
like
most.
yapping. I like yapping. You know, whenever I get a chance to yap my frustrations about politics, sports, and all of that stuff, I like doing
Boy,
that.
let me tell you, the world gives you plenty of us,
Ah,
plenty to yap about, though. Let me
plenty
tell
of
you,
to yap
you
about,
go from the town level all the way up to the federal level. But yeah,
bro. Just yapping.
before we go on a real tangent, before I jump into this question, what are you reading right now?
And I meant to bring the book down, but the book is called is how to make friends and make real conversations. Hold on. I want to find the title, but basically I feel like, and I know this is gonna sound weird, man, I feel like I don't know how to talk to the people at work, man. I don't feel like I make the right corny jokes anymore. I know it sounds weird. I just been thinking like I have the same dry conversations. Hey, how you doing? Oh, you doing good? Okay, cool. How's your kids? Blah blah blah. So I don't feel like I
And what
have,
do you do for work?
huh?
What do you do for work?
I work in a medical warehouse, so I give
All
out
right,
legal medical drugs. But
okay.
also they could take you out if
So you're
somebody messes up.
so you're what I like to call a hybrid brand CEO. So you do the 9 to 5 and you're an entrepreneur all at the same
Yeah,
time.
got to.
That's multiple hats,
Yeah.
and it kind of goes into this next question that I have, which is I'm dubbing it the identity shift because you carry a lot of titles, like we just said. You doing a lot: husband, father,
Okay.
entrepreneur, athlete because of the bodybuilding stuff, author. But between who you were 10 years ago and the man that's sitting here right now, what changed first? Was it your actions or the mindset?
The book is called How to Win Friends and Influence People. The only book you'll need to lead you to success by Dale Cargin. Very good book so far. You said what changed first, the mindset or the action?
Yeah.
10 years ago.
To who you are now. Don't want to age us, but
Dang, that's
that's in our 30s. We kind of
20
like
something,
we're in that weird space where it's like
almost
we
40.
kind of still partying, but we're out of
Man,
that phase.
I'm still young, but I'll give you one party a week. That's it, man. I'll give you two cut waters and that's it. Um, I would say the mindset change first. And
Hmm.
man, listen, I'm gonna try to yap fast. The mindset changed because one day, again, to go back to what I learned as a kid, the people you're watching on TV already made it. I was watching this fitness dude on TV. He was getting shredded for a competition, right? He did all the work. He did all the work. He did all the work, and he didn't win, right? And I was like, dang, okay. Bro, the following year, did all the work. This time he didn't compete, did all the work. The following year after that, third year, did all the work, didn't win. Then we go to my life, um, with the homies. We all go to the gym. Yo, let's get shredded. All right, cool. Let's start the group chat. What's that? All right, cool. Send your weights every week. All right. 1 week, one dude doesn't send it. 1 week, the next dude doesn't send it. The next week, yo, bro, I'm not cutting no more. I'm going back to bulking. I bet I'm gonna bulk too. As I'm watching the person on TV, I'm gonna bulk too. All right, cool. Year two, yo, let's cut. All right, bro. How come you didn't send your weight in? No response. Bro, how come you didn't send your weight in? Next person, no response. I said, all right, cool. Yo, Renard, I'm about to bolt. I want to get stronger. Bro, I'm gonna get strong with you too. Third year, after watching the dude fail again, but he made a production video of everything he did. Like he literally showed his food, his workouts, everything. I said, dang, okay. My boy texted me. He said, bro, I'm not cutting anymore. I'm gonna bulk. I said, yo, you on your own. I'm gonna stay on the cut. I'm gonna stay on the cut. I'm done. So I literally went from at that point 2 The heaviest I ever been was 260, but at that point, I think I was like 250 something. Bro, I'm in the gym every day. I'm fasting. On the weekends, I'm fasting 24 hours. I go to work. I go to the gym. I'm relearning how to run. I'm teaching myself how to run. I'm teaching myself how to breathe. I'm teaching myself because of embarrassment. Stop stomping on the treadmill, sounding like a elephant, having people turn around like, yo, is he dying? I'm relearning everything about myself, bro. I'm getting cut up. I'm jumping ropes, and then eventually I get a coach for a little bit, and then I said I don't want to pay anymore. So when I needed to go to the next level, he gave me the workouts. I did the workout. I sent him the transformation, and then I said, bro, you could stop, but why? Keep going, bro. 200, 220, 200, 190, 180. I said, bro, now I'm inspiring people. Right? People at work saying, yo, bro, what gym you go to? I tell them, yo, what workout you doing? I tell them. Now the people at work, they're going to the gym independently. Then I'm still running outside. I'm taking my shirt off. I'm running. You got people honking like, yo, bro, I saw you on Blue Hill Ave. Yo, I saw you in Mattapan. Yo, I saw you in Hyde Park. Then, I told the wife, I said, yo, if I can get down to 175 before my birthday, I want to do a bodybuilding competition. I just threw it out there in the universe. And then you know what she did? She found one. And she said, yo, bro, this is literally 3 days before your birthday. So you signing up for it or what you doing?
There it is.
Again,
Leave it to the women.
Male ego. I said, yeah, let's sign up. I don't know what I'm doing, but let's sign up. But I'm getting shredded and shredded. And then we did it. So, I go back to that all the time. It's a mindset. Let me tell you one more. It's a mindset. Same thing. Now, we don't got nothing to do. The country's shut down. I'm running outside. I'm running. I said, yo, I'm dying outside, bro. I can't breathe. I'm learning how to breathe as I run outside. You know? Then my man's, long story short, shout out to Joshua. We go running with him. Bro, I love what he did. As we running, he saw my ego come out a little bit. He said, oh, you think he can keep up with me? My man took off. I said, bro, I don't even know how to get back. What's going on here? But
So why'd you try to test them?
Yeah,
Why'd you try to test them?
bro, I'm going, and then I realized I ran 10 miles. I'm breathing
Without even knowing.
without even knowing it because I started. This random black lady was asking me, what are you doing? I said, I'm just jogging. Free will, you know what I mean? She's like, oh, you're doing a great job. Mind you, I went from breathing like a pig on a hot day to just being able to have a conversation. So, you know what I mean? So it was dope. So doing all of that stuff and then eventually running the marathon. And then we did the powerlifting stuff. But I'm happy you asked that question because I never really thought about it. Is it a mindset first, then the action? But it was the mindset. It's definitely that's why I say I'm a creative. Once I say, okay, cool, I think I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
I really think I could do this. My brain says yes, we can do it, and then now it's just moving forward and doing it. I just got to learn how to do that with the abstract things that are not physical. But when it comes to
Yeah.
the physical stuff, working out, all of that stuff,
So
everything is here, man.
let's stay there right there and stick to this physical journey, because from my math calculations, I was a fellow fat ass motherfucker, brother. I was 278, and my wife came along, and I told her, you already gonna be dope as shit at the wedding, but I ain't gonna be no slop standing beside you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm gonna hold my own. So I went on my own weight loss journey. I had in here that you lost 55 pounds, but I'm listening to the numbers that you said. That was more than 55 pounds that you lost along the way. And then went straight into bodybuilding, state powerlifting records, marathons. I want you to tell me for first, what in the flying fuck was going through your brain when you say you was going to fucking run a marathon? What was going through your brain when you was running the marathon? And while you was on this fitness journey, it sounds like it was someone who, in kind of like the ego started it, but you finished it mentally, right? And is it something that you was trying to prove to yourself? Was it a health decision thing? I'm pretty sure health plays a part of it, but like, what triggered you wanting to lose that weight? Because I can tell you right now, I wanted to be a medium again, like when I came out the military, and then I did not want to look like a fat ass slob at that altar when Tiffany came down. No way, no how.
Can't,
You know what
can't.
I mean? So from
Um,
278 to 217 by the wedding,
and that's
and
good.
now I'm
And you said
what
like
am I
what,
right now?
204, 27?
No, I went up a little bit. Fatty still eats his McDonald's and shit. So I don't
I
give a
had
fuck.
McDonald's
Bro,
today.
I tell people all the time. Like right now, I'm not gonna hold you. I just got hungry, and the moment we get off this recorder, it's fucking midnight right now. And I'm about to tell the wife, "Yo, what needs a McDonald's? Which one? Which one?" And she's gonna look at me like I'm crazy,
You
and she's like,
crazy.
"No, I'll have a salad." Oh man, fuck you, ain't a salad. I'm going to
She
get
gonna
this
have
fast
some.
food. God damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
um,
I know, like for me, it was a mindset and an ego thing. But then now it's a lifestyle thing for me because like
yeah.
I like wearing my fucking mediums. Like right now, I'm wearing a large and it's irking my nerves because I feel like you don't see my shape. But
Fair
back in the
enough.
day, this shit was so fucking tight that you saw a shape. It just wasn't a good one.
I'm a
So onto you, like, what was it? An ego? Was it a mindset? Was it a health scare? Because mine, there was a little bit of health scare also. Like I was pre-diabetic, pre-high blood pressure, pre
dang.
everything under the goddamn sun,
Yep.
and they try to give me some pills,
Yep.
and then like for about
Absolutely
like
not.
a few days of taking that shit, I felt lethargic. I was always tired. I went back to that doctor. I was like, hey, I'm gonna do this
What's
shit the
this?
natural way. Take my fat ass into the fucking gym. You know what I mean? But one thing I did tell myself, I'm not doing no crazy diets or none of that shit. Like I'm gonna eat like a normal person because
Yeah.
when I'm not changing my lifestyle on how I eat. I want to be able to eat what the fuck I want. Just know that it comes with consequences, and it's probably going to be a little bit more time in the gym. Knowing
Yeah.
that, I'm like, all right, cool. I could deal with that. Extra 40 minutes a week, I'll do with it. I
That's it.
fucking hate cardio. I'm gonna get on that
Do it.
bitch and sound like an elephant running, but I don't give a
That's
damn.
it, baby.
Look at me all stupid, goddamn it. But I'll let you answer.
Dang. Okay, long story short, it wasn't a health scare per se. Shout out to like I said, I'm always thinking the universe puts people in front of me all the time. Shout out to my boy Andrew and shout out to Vlad as well. My boy Andrew, long story short, why did I even go? I had pus pockets in the back of my head.
Plus
For
pockets.
yeah, so basically like uh, pimples. So when you have too much sugar built up in your body, sometimes your body doesn't know what to do with it. So it basically makes this pimple and places it wherever it wants. But it was placing mine in the back of my head. So they were throbbing, they
Oh
would
no.
hurt. I would pop them, so like they would be oozing. You're not supposed to be really doing that because if they pop, it could go into your brain. I only found that out later on because at work this dude had it and he had to get surgery for his, and that's what they told him. I said, "Oh snap!" It was a whole thing. So when I went to the
What
doctors,
the
yeah,
fuck?
when I went to the doctors, they really didn't help me. So I was like, "Okay, cool, all right,
Thanks for nothing, asshole.
thanks for nothing." Two for two. Two times went. That's why people get mad at me for not going to the doctors. I'm like, bro, I only go if there's something wrong with me. And I know when there's something wrong with me because I'm in tune with my body. So like, one time, long story short, I pulled something in my testicle, and I went to the hospital. I went like
Pause. Gee,
three
we just gonna
days.
throw that out
Yeah,
there.
man, deadlifting at 3 days. I was just like, nah, I'm straight. And then one day I was like, nah, this hurts too much. I gotta go to the doctors. And literally, they just gave me antibiotic pills. And then had me go to see the specialist. And then he looked at my testicle. He was like, "Yo, bro, you good? Just no heavy lifting for a week, and then you get to go." I was like, "All right, whatever." But long story short, it was a health scare. The health scare was that I wasn't receiving help, but there was something wrong with me. So that's one thing. And then shout out to Ton, who took me to he was my devil's partner in high school. He took me to Planet Fitness one day. That's why sometimes you have to say yes. He
Yeah.
asked me if I wanted to go to the gym. I was like, I was like, all right, whatever, man. I'll go. It's been a long time. The ego part was the fact that I was like, bro, I used to do sit-ups like it was nothing in middle school and high school. Yo, my man said, all right, let's do 10 sit-ups. Man, I'm sweating by sit-up 3. I said, yo, what the is going on with me? Like, I can't do a sit-up on the machine? Like, what's going on here? So after that, I was like, nah, I gotta change. So we all used to go to the gym together and do that. So, but I'm gonna be real with you. That's why I said I'm a creator, because my brain says something and I try to execute it in the physical form.
Mm.
When it came to the marathon, it was the fact that one, I needed a break from powerlifting because we just set the state records. Um, and I kind of wanted a new challenge and I wanted to do something else. I appreciate it. And one of the coaches at Urban Powerhouse, she is a marathon running coach. Randomly came up in conversation, and then a couple of years, I guess it's like a year and a half later, here's this opportunity. So I wanted to go back running outside, and then her and my coach, we put a program together to be able to run and still lift the weights. And then I just did it. But my main thought during that time before coming up with running the marathon is the fact that I ran from our childhood home all the way to Dorchester because we were staying in the Airbnb. So I ran from Brighton all the way to Dorchester. Took a
Oh
phone call from
hell,
work. I took a
hell
work
no.
phone call and I was good. So um and then I also ran
That man
from,
said Brighton or Dorchester.
yes
If you're
sir,
not
and
from Boston, that's a hike and a half.
that's a high,
Fatty
bro.
just got tired just thinking about it.
Yo, which is crazy because it was only 11 point something miles.
Nope,
Uh,
that's 102 miles.
yeah, something like that. And then I also ran. I ran. It was the ambitions to see if I could run from Hyde Park to downtown and back. So every week I would wake up and I would run a little bit closer. So I ran through Roxbury, Jamaica Plain, Roxbury, come back. Jamaica Plain, Roxbury, Chinatown, all 3 come back. Mass Ave, come back. And then one day I ran all the way to downtown, went to the State House, the park, downtown park, and then ran back home. So what
How many miles was that?
I don't remember at this point, but it was what's crazy is when you're doing it and you come back and look, it's not really, it's a lot, but it's not really a lot, unfortunately, which is
It's a lot
crazy.
for my brain.
Yeah,
They
it
hear you
so
say that you ran from Hyde Park to downtown
yo,
State House and
and then
back.
back. That's
Nope.
why I get upset.
Let me tell you something.
Huh?
Did you forget your phone at home and your Uber app wasn't working? What was going on?
No, no, no. I have my phone tracking. Listen, this is what I was gonna say, and this is why I said I'm a creator, bro. The best part about when I was running, I would run at 5 a.m., sometimes 4. And what I would do is I would wake up in the morning, drink some water, use the bathroom, and then I would watch AMV. So that's people that take anime videos and they put inspirational quotes in there, or they put music in it. Or I'd watch Kobe. And then I said, all right, cool, put my headphones in. I take off running. My brain literally thought of nothing. It was just me outside and nobody would be outside. Like it was beautiful, brother. It was beautiful. I felt like I could breathe all the free air to
Let me, t-
myself.
let me tell you something. Take all that free fucking air that you want, brother. You're not selling me on this shit.
No, no, I know.
And
I
you know the crazy thing is though, me and Tiff both want to run a marathon before we turn 50. And
we
I'm
could do it.
like, can I? I know I can. Do I want to? No.
No, no, no.
That's like a year and a half of my life just preparing for that shit. You know
Listen,
what I mean? Like, and I've done hard shit. I've run freaking 20 miles. I've ruck marched 23, 26 milers. I've
you
done
did
all
it.
that shit in the military.
Yeah,
But like, that was also, I've been
you
out of
had
the
to.
military
Yeah,
for
yeah.
fucking 11 years now. 2015, January 2015 was when I got out. So like, yeah, my 11th year.
You,
Out 11 years. Fatty just got rid of this fucking weight 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
It's gonna be better for your joints when you do it now.
Whose joints?
Your joint with less
Boy, I
weight
got a
on them.
body of a 60-year-old, man.
Nah,
Like
listen,
I
you
done
could
beat
do
it
it.
down playing football, done beat it down in the military. Like
That is
ain't
true.
no.
But I want to say this, right? You know what was crazy about the whole experience? Um, I'm not gonna lie. I cramped up. So the last couple of miles I did have to walk, but I finished. But what was crazy is Ramses was just born, right?
Mhm.
So he don't know what happened, but he was in the car because I had Rachel follow me um the last couple of bro. I literally finished and I started crying. And and I started crying because the male ego with the feminine energy came out at the same time. And it said, my brain and body at the same time literally said, yo, you the first one in the bloodline to ever run a marathon. How does that feel?
Hey,
And I just started crying with
hey,
my son in the back.
put
You know what I
that
mean?
there, put that
You know what
there,
I
put
mean?
that
So
there.
when it comes to legacy, a lot of the time, that's what it's about too, man. Being the first
Yeah,
one in the bloodline to make their wildest dreams come true. Like I'm
yeah.
executing what they never thought would happen, that they did think would happen, but I'm making it happen. You know what I
I,
mean?
I love that for you.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't know if I'm gonna have that in my bloodline. Caden could be the first.
Kaden can be the first one.
He could be the first on
Set
some
it up
shit.
for
You know
him.
what I mean? You know what I mean? Like hold it down for the Bartholomews.
But I will say
Um,
this. I would highly recommend for you and anybody that thinks about running, get a good running shoe, get your feet looked at, get your hips looked at. And then also
get your mind looked
make it a
at
one-time
because you
thing.
crazy for wanting to do it.
Huh?
Now get your brain looked at because you're crazy for wanting to do this.
Something like that. Yeah, you gotta be a little insane because you're out there for a while, you know what I mean? But I
What was your time when you did it?
it took me 7 hours, but that's because
All 26 in
we had a
7
late
hours.
start.
Listen, to run 26 miles. I would want to be.
26.20, man.
I want to fuck that 2-0. At that point, it's you done out there. Like
Yeah, you gotta get the point.
like,
You gotta get the 0.20, man. You gotta get the whole thing. So it's in the history books. When you go to heaven, they got it right there on the board. Seven be the brand marathon runner on top of everything else.
listen. Uh 7 hours 26.2, and there was something else. I want to be in the category that the people get to walk. That's the category I want. Let me walk that hole. I could walk 26.2.
You can do that too. Yeah.
Put a rucksack on my back, and I'll be in my mind 1 foot in front of the other. Like I know how to mentally
Lock in.
prepare for that.
Mm-hmm.
But to tell me that I'm going to run from fucking Newton to downtown,
That's a lot.
through Heartbreak Hill and all that
That's
shit.
a lot.
But I'm gonna stop and start sightseeing, and then people are gonna be in the crowds. I'll be like, hey,
You're gonna be in
don't cheer me on, don't cheer me on, because I'm stupid.
But I will
Don't
say this.
cheer on stupidity, okay?
I did not run the Boston Marathon. I ran the Galactic Vibe Marathon. So I ran my own marathon. So I did my own thing. I ran from the crib through JP, Roxbury, Dorchester, downtown, Chinatown, Rosendale, and Hyde Park. So I basically ran Boston. I ran the town of Boston
Wait,
on my
hold
own
up,
time.
hold up,
Exactly. That's why it
wait
means
a
a lot. First in
second.
the bloodline. I did my own thing.
Wait, hold up. So you mean to tell me
I woke up and did my own thing.
you done suffered for
Yeah.
26.20 miles
For myself.
and you don't even get the blue ribbon and a gold medallion?
I did it for myself. I'm planting the seeds that will grow a tree and a fruit that I might never get the taste of, my brother.
I ain't doing.
Yeah,
So we're moving the fuck on, right?
Yeah,
Like
man. I did my
right now.
own thing, man.
Talk to me about Galactic Vibes. A lot of people like to start brands. A lot of people do start brands. You turn yours into a message. What was the moment that you realized this was bigger than a streetwear company?
I will say, so long story short, Galactic Vibe, the pre to Galactic Vibe was Phoenix Fitness Squared. So
Yep.
basically the Phoenix represents in every culture around the world, there is a story about the phoenix. The phoenix is a mythical bird that basically dies and from its ashes sets itself on fire and then is reborn. So through my fitness journey, that was always my thought, and that's my thought still now, that a lot of people kind of feel like they can't be reborn. You could be reborn, especially when it comes to fitness. You can lose the weight, you can get a better diet, you can get off the medication, you can do a lot of things if you just start taking care of yourself. So from that, the rebirth of myself, doing a bodybuilding competition, inspiring people. I started thinking about protein. Then I was like, I like outer space. I like stuff like that. So, galactic protein came. But then, I can't just be like galactic protein. What is it that I'm really bringing? I'm bringing a vibe. I'm bringing an energy. So galactic vibe. So the vastness of the universe, put together with the energy, aura, vibes, and everything like that we bring forward. So that's where galactic vibe came. So once I was reborn, now galactic vibes is here, the vibes, the energy that you need. And also it came from doing um which is still kind of like very arrogant of me, but whatever. I did shirtless summer, so I literally was going to people's houses and cookouts and stuff with no shirt on or button up shirt. So I literally went to my boy's house. He threw a cookout, shirt open on 4th of July. I took a picture in front of a flag, no shirt on, mad arrogant. I went to Rob's family's house, shirt open. They said, "Yo, when the summer's today?" Shirt, nipples out, and everything. I was like, you know what I mean? Like just arrogant, just bringing that energy and vibe. So,
Sometimes
I,
you gotta walk in like you
d-
him, bro, and just let it rock.
bro, um, I still have the shirt and I think about wearing it, but I'm gonna rip it. I literally went to H&M and on purpose wanted to see if I could fit a small shirt. Bought a small muscle shirt, put that bad boy on, bro. I'm looking at it, 6-pack bulging, arms cut up, chest up. I said, bro, this dude's arrogant, but um, it's a vibe, man. Galactic vibe. Really, everything you do is an energy. Even what we're doing right now, even what you're doing. You're doing Dear Legacy. You're doing Please Excuse My Balls. You're doing Rooster Reality. You're doing a trucking company. You're posting on Instagram. Um, thought of the week, thought of the month, your thoughts in general. That's a vibe. That's an energy. And that's what we need in this world. We got too many sheeps in this world where people just confine to whatever is there around them. So galactic vibe really represents you as the person, bringing your vibes, bringing your energy forward, bringing what you're best known for, forward, pushing it forward, a lot of the times people tend to just stand in the shadows when they see people, especially in the gym. I'm gonna give the gym as an example. When they see someone stronger than them, they'll be on the side like, oh no, I don't want to lift heavy weights. No, 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 no. I'm not the strongest dude in the
Yep.
gym. I'm not the I'm not the
Mhm.
at Urban Powerhouse. I am not the strongest dude in the gym. I am not. Shoot, my wife is about to squat 500 pounds before I do. I got to fix my hip and my back and stuff. You know what I mean? But guess what? I'm going to bring the
Does
vibe.
that do anything to the ego?
First it did, but because I'm getting better, because I think I reflect, I realize,
I'm
yo,
glad you kept it real. I'm glad you
yeah,
kept it
real
real.
talk. Real talk. I thought about it. I said, dang. I even said, yo, bro, I'm willing to get hurt to hit 500. And I said, bro, what's the point? What's the point? I could be the
Yo, that's
architect.
crazy.
I could be the person. I'm the person in the background that helped her even wanna work out and do powerlifting. That's credit enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's credit enough. If she squats 500 before me, oh well. I know my limitations. You know what I mean? My body ain't perfect right now, which is fine. But I'm still working. Like I said, I'm not the strongest person in the gym. But guess what? They ain't gonna outwork me, and they ain't gonna bring more energy than me.
Boom.
Boom.
All
You know what
right.
I mean? They can have the strength, but I'm gonna be in there. I'm gonna be in there. You gonna know I'm in there. You know what I mean? You're gonna hear me cheering. You're gonna hear me be pumped up. You're gonna hear me do what I gotta do. So I when I take up space, I'm bringing my energy, and I really feel like that's really what represents galactic vibe, is taking up space with your energy, your aura, your vibe, being you, not being shy, not confining, not being a sheep, not being like everybody else. You literally being your best self in every space that you're in. You take up adequate space that you're supposed to take, and if you got to take more, you could be that person that take more.
Brother. But I felt it.
Yes, sir.
I, like the whole energy shifted.
Yeah,
It was
I'm
like
passionate.
I felt it come out, like you sat up taller
Yes, sir.
and you just like with the whole chest. You
Yes,
know what I
sir.
mean? Uh,
That's what it's
yeah,
about. Yes, sir, man. Bring that
that's
vibe, man.
and I think for me, that's the legacy of it all, right? Like when somebody could sit there and talk about their passion in a way like oh, that's that person's thing.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Because we've been talking for an hour and 20 some minutes, and it was been an amazing conversation. But I said, tell me about Galactic Vibes. And you said, poop poop. Let me tell you about Galactic Vibes and
Yes,
this
sir,
fucking
man.
movement. And I appreciate it because like that's your thing.
Yes, sir.
That's the one thing that nobody could take from you, bro. God gave you that fucking vision, and it don't matter how I look at it. I think you're fucking 10 ways crazy running a goddamn marathon for fun. Not even for the real, not even for the real guy to get the little blue ribbon in the jacket that people wear. Like, yo, you ever notice? Off topic, real quick, but not off topic. The people that run the marathon that get that little windbreaker, and then they just wear it everywhere. Like,
Everywhere.
don't get it twisted. I fucking run a marathon. I
Yeah,
complete it.
you got
That's my
to.
uniform. That's my uniform for the next 365 days. And I am wearing I am going to do the most obnoxious shit. I will go get a chain made
Yo,
and
that'd be
put the
dope.
medallion on it, and I'm wearing it every
That'd be dope.
day. Every time I turn around, it's no longer about like how I slide in. I'm in real estate. I slide in.
He
I have
said,
a
I
little
ran a
truck there.
marathon.
I slide the first thing that I ran a marathon. You run one? Oh, I didn't think
I didn't
so.
think so.
Mm.
I will say
But
this.
let's go ahead. Go ahead
The
before.
only reason why, like I said, for that, talking about Galactic Vibe, is like I said, I am a creator. I also like people. So that's
Mhm.
why with that stuff, I could talk about it all day. Bodybuilding, powerlifting, and running the marathon, I will say doing bodybuilding, I felt the ego because I was walking around with no shirt on. You know what I mean? I was literally bragging without talking. Like
Yeah, yeah,
long
yeah.
story short too, even for work, we had to go on a work trip at one of my jobs. And you know, everybody thought they was in shape. Everybody thought they was good. Everybody
Hey,
knew I
oh,
was
I was about
losing
to say
weight.
you went to work with no shirt on. I was like, oh
Listen,
hell.
listen. We in Florida, baby. So you know what I did? I said, bro, I'm tired of everybody at this job. I took my shirt off. They said, oh my God, yo, what workout are you doing today? What's going on? And I said, got him. So that's why when I talk about stuff like that, I bring the energy down a little bit because I already had the ego stage, I had the boasting
Yeah.
stage, I had the like pushing energy stage. So now I just started, you know, I try to stay even keel so then people be like, okay, you know, maybe I can work out too, maybe I could blah 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 blah. But when it comes to like bringing the vibes and energy, I'm a puff up my chest, man. I'm gonna talk because everyone should be able to do it. Everyone should be proud of what they're doing. You know, everybody should be proud of their legacies with the three dots at the end to represent what they want to represent for their bloodline and their family. You did this is you know what I mean? That's why we talked about it in Rooster Reality, bro. I text a group chat. Sometimes I feel like maybe I'm doing too much, but I don't care. Yo, Ramses ran 10 yards today. Yo, Ramses did that jujutsu kick today. Yo, Roman just climbed out his crib today. Yo, my man doing soccer.
I saw that video of that, by the way. My
Yeah,
man
so
said one leg over, champ. I'm out of here.
you know what I mean? Yo, Ramsey, no, Roman hung on the rings for 5 seconds on his own. Like, I'm bragging about the kids. I'm puffing the chest up. Yo, y'all check out the YouTube video. Rachel just, you know, she just squatted 465. Blah 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 blah. So, my man Kev got this podcast. So I'm in the field now. I just want to brag about my people. You know what I mean? I want to
Yeah.
brag about myself and I want to brag about my people. Like I don't feel like we bring our energy forward. I don't feel like we bring our vibes forward enough. You know, you already know the people that control the social media platform, they push what they want to push in their algorithm and all that, yada, yada, yada. But we all got friends and family. We should be bragging to our friends and family members about all the stuff that our kids are doing, our wives are doing, we're doing, you know, our side friends are doing, our friends that we talk to every third Thursday of the week, our friends that we talk every 4 weeks or 4 years. For, you know, brag. If they doing something, let's talk about it, man. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
Talk about what you're doing, man. That's it.
And before I ask this next question, are you still training folks? Because I remember there was a period in time where you was training under the Phoenix umbrella. Now, did we take it to the Galactic Vibes also? And
No, I'm not really training people because again, Mamba mindset. I I wanted to get I wanted to do the powerlifting thing while I was doing competitions and stuff like that. So after, you know what? Maybe after states, I'll bring it back. It's hard to train people, no disrespect. If I do, it might just be an online thing. I don't really like the online thing, but I like in person so I can help correct you, do XYZ. We could chit chat. I can learn about what you got going on. Cause I think it is important to get to know the person. That way,
Mhm.
when you build the plan out, it's a little bit better. That's why I like what they do at Urban Powerhouse. You know, they ask you about your 9 to 5, they ask you how you eat, they ask you how to do XYZ, and then they build the plan catering to that. So,
Got you.
yeah, so after states, maybe I'll bring it back. You know, your boy wants to go to Japan, so y'all might be able to help me. I train you, you give me a little pocket change. I make my way to Japan, you know what I mean? Or I make myself
Yo, help that
just
man
to be
out.
real, you
That
know?
flight alone in Japan ain't nothing nice.
You know what I mean? Just to be real. But long story short, I am always willing to help. So if you hit me up, DM me on Galactic Protein on IG. I'm willing to help, man. I take any questions. And if I don't know the answer, I'll look it up and find out what I can find out for you. Because I do think it's important that, especially Caribbean people, we stay in shape. A
Yeah.
lot of us are having kids, and then we just die of harsh natural causes, in a sense. You know, like I told Rachel, my one of my goals is to be here for the boys when they move. I want to be able to carry a box up the stairs. I'll put it in their apartment or put it in their house. I want to be able to help them move in because I helped all my friends and family members, right? I want to be able to help my kids. I don't want to be that person that, oh man, I can't do it. Now, after I moved the first 2 boxes, we call them movers. I'm not moving no more boxes. You know, it's two,
So
three
it's just a
boxes. That's it. The-
symbolism of the
yeah,
boxes.
yeah, not the
With
whole
the,
thing. I just want to move
and
a
it better
couple
be the
boxes.
boxes that got the fucking pillows in it too,
Yes, sir.
motherfuckers.
Yes, sir. Maybe one couch, but we having 3 people hold it. I'm not holding the weight of the
Nah, by the
couch.
time these boys are moving
Yeah,
of moving age, I ain't moving no couch.
yeah.
No,
I just want
I
to be
made
able to
enough
put my
money in my
pinky on it.
lifetime.
Yeah,
We got the movers.
yeah.
So going over to the build it pillar. I'm gonna throw one at you out of the build it pillar. Tell me about a quiet sacrifice, something you gave up that nobody applauded, that nobody even knows about.
Good question. Um, Nothing I gave up that nobody even knows about. Um, I man, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't really know. I'd have to maybe after this podcast think about it even more. But I would say the only thing I really gave up when Ramses was born, I stopped going to the gym. I stopped running. Like I said, and like we talked before too, I didn't have a blueprint on how to be a good father. So I thought just being a good father would be uh just be at home all day. Um, so that's what I was doing. I'd leave work. I just go home. I just hang out with Ramses and the wife, help out wherever, hold them, talk to 'em. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all, which is probably bad. I held Ramses, but I didn't really hold him that much. Bro, I'd pick him up, pop him next to me, and show him how to hold his bottle. And then people would be like, yo, he can hold his own bottle? I'm like, yeah. What you talking about? My man's right here holding his bottle. You know what I mean? So, um, I will say one thing that I really didn't tell a lot of people, um, was that I was jealous of him for a little bit because he
Huh.
was getting all the attention. You know what I mean? So I didn't know how to deal with that at first, and then I realized, bro, it's not about you anymore. It's about him. Like he's the future. You're locking it in so he can have a good life. So
Yeah.
relax with all of that. Like, you know what I mean? But I wasn't like lashing out or nothing like that. I just realized because I wasn't going to the gym, so I didn't have that outlet of going to the gym anymore, of running anymore. Bro, I'm in the gym 2-3 hours. You know what I mean? Rachel's coming home. Oh man, you was in the gym. Yeah, I'm getting these gains, baby. I can't come home. I can't come home with a newborn baby and say, "Oh, I wasn't home because I was getting these gains." You know what I mean? These are precious times. So I would say, and then obviously, we found a balance, so I was able to go back to the gym. But the
Yeah.
main thing, I would say that's one of the sacrifices that that was there was giving up the gym for a couple of months, maybe close to a year, and then the jealousy thing. Maybe that's why I wanted to run a marathon. My body was like, "Yo, you need a challenge. You wasn't doing nothing for a couple of
Go
for a
go
year."
get your mind straight. You out here tripping. Um while you've been on this journey through all the evolutions of all the things that you do, being an author, the marathon running, the bodybuilding, the 9 to 5 hybrid, being a dad, do you feel as though you lost anything of you along the way? Like, did it cost you anything along the way? And do you feel as though it was worth it now, hindsight 2020?
I will say, the only thing I lost was that monster inside of me. Um, like I said, that monster would be in the gym 2, 3 hours. That monster uh, would go out running. Um, you know, man, that man that monster was a beast, but it's okay. I'm learning to just tap into more of the positive energy and then just give it to the kids, man. I would say that's all I can think about. But listen. Long story short, the last competition to get to states, coach looked at me and said, "Yo, you need to go 3 for 3." Oh, you know what? Let me tell y'all the story since we here. Long story short, um, we had a goal. The goal was to go 9 for 9, hit every lift. Um, so as we were squatting, I get the first one. The second one, I get under the bar. I hear Ramses cheering for me. I literally, if you watch anime, I saw myself crying and I felt the tear. I felt very emotional. And then I failed the second lift. And then coach asked me, "Yo, what happened?" I said, "Yo, I'm sorry. I heard Ramses cheering for me. This ain't never
Lost
happened
all my
before.
shit.
My emotions got the best of me." But the monster, that would have never happened if the monster was there. I'll tell you right now, I would have went 9 for 9. I wouldn't have cared if Ramsey was cheering for me. But you know, but then um, I said, "Bro, it's okay. Lock in, man. Let's have fun. Let's have a good time." And then coach is like, "Oh yeah, that's the athlete mindset." Because I bounced back, and then I went 3 for 3 on the bench, right? Which I never did before in a competition. I went 3 for 3. I got all of them. Mind you, I got no lift off. I did it all by myself because I knew I could do it. But then we get to the deadlift. Coach goes, as I'm sitting there, 5 people out. She goes, "Yeah, you need to go 3 for 3 on the deadlifts," and then walked away. The current me was like, "Okay, what's plan B if we don't get this?" And then this is when, the monster's still there, but it's not as strong as it was before. The
Yeah.
monster came out and said, "Bro, what would Kobe do?" I said, "Kobe would lock in." Bro, I changed the music. I changed the music. I got the first one. I changed the music. Listen, I'm listening to Juice, Win, and T-Pain buy you a drink. Bro,
That's an odd one.
that's it.
But
Bro,
we'll let that rock.
the last we step on stage for the last one. I literally looked up. I said, "Thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity to be here." I said, "Yo, let's get this." Bro, pulled it, and now we're going to States. So that's the only thing I feel like I had to let go was the monster, because you gotta be a family man. You gotta put some of your things aside, and just be there for your family. So, I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes I don't even go to the gym because the wife has to go instead of me so she can get her workout in to get ready for her competition. And somebody gotta watch the kids, or after work, instead of going home, I'll go to the gym, I'll watch the kids, then we'll all go home together, cook dinner. So um and I'm okay with it. Like I said, I really enjoy cooking. I enjoy spending time with them. You know, I'm always gonna make time. Like now, I go Saturday morning sometimes if I have to, early before everybody wakes up, which I enjoy because, like, again, I get to smell the fresh air. But long story short, the monster's not there, not like it used to be, and it's okay, man. It's all right.
All right, jumping over to the live it bucket. Are you living in alignment with what you say that you're building?
I would say yes and no. The only reason why I say no, and it's probably the part that I need to go to therapy for, is I always think that I could be doing more. But I say yes because I have a creative mind. So literally, like this shirt, it might sound like BS. I seen it in my mind. I went home and I created it. And now it's a hot selling shirt on the website. You know what I mean? So every day I see new things. Ramses learns kindness. It came from right before Ramses was born. I had a dream of my mom. I saw her in my dream. I gave her a hug and I said, "We're having our first son." And I said, "Yo, how can I make?" And then Rachel lost her parents. How can I make a connection between our parents that are not here and Ramses because he's never gonna meet them. And then now the book is created and now we got it in the physical form. So I just feel like I could always do more because I'm always seeing things that can be created and can do more. Same thing with the running and all that stuff. I see it, let's do it. And if I don't see it, sometimes I'm like, all right, don't do it. Um but that's it mainly. Mainly yes, and I only say no because I always feel like there's more that can be done.
Bet. All right. Right now, enough with the deep questions real quick.
All right.
Before we close out, it's time to go to
Rapid fire,
Let's do
rapid
right.
fire.
Yeah, I gotta
all
get me one
right.
of them things.
All right, so first question on rapid fire. And then quick, first thing that comes to your brain. What's the dumbest decision you made that somehow worked out anyways?
What's the dumbest decision you made and it worked out anyways? All right, let's skip that one. Let's come back to it.
Man, running that motherfucking marathon, you said. What's what's
Damn,
something
that's a good
you
question
do
though.
what's something you do that contradicts everything you preach?
Man, I be lazy sometimes. Sometimes I don't do nothing. I just sit
Mm,
on the couch.
man, I got those moments too.
Yeah.
I be telling people all the time what my quick thought of the day is everything under the sun. And I get home, I'm like, man, I ain't fucking doing that shit.
Facts.
Uh, what's the story nobody knows about you?
Um
What's one story nobody knows about you?
you know what? Just to just to be a little silly. Yo, for the longest time I didn't know I was Haitian. Um That's crazy, right? I didn't know. It's not like my parents advertised it or nothing like that. I'm going to a bilingual school where they put everybody that can speak English on one side and everybody that can speak Mandarin Chinese on the other side. I just thought I was American, Black American, just chilling until one day, I realized I could speak Haitian Creole. I
White
meet other
flag,
Haitian
white flag,
people.
white flag. I am done. My
It's
man
crazy,
said,
right?
I
I,
didn't know
I
I was.
crazy.
All
Hey,
right, let's keep going.
crazy.
Um, what do you wish you known at 25 that you know now?
Man, I wish I knew how to invest in stocks better.
Ooh, that's a good one for sure.
Yeah,
For
man,
sure.
I wish I knew how to do it better at 25. I would we did stuff like that in 5th grade, but it was playing around. I wish they told us to take it a little bit more serious so that at
Yeah.
25 I could have invested better.
What's one thing you're doing differently this year because of something you learned last year?
Um I'm putting my family's emotions and their goals and aspirations before my own. I make sure to go out to the games. I make sure to I'm usually not the person to be looking at the schedule and staying on time and focus like that, but this year I'm really working hard on being that person and making sure that I'm there for everybody and their needs and stuff like that.
Last one in rapid fire. In one sentence, how do you want to be remembered?
Philosophically, I don't want to be remembered. I want my energy to just be there. I don't I don't um yeah, I don't want them to be like, "Yo, Renard did this, Renard did that." No, 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 no. I want them to be like, "Yo, this energy reminds me of Renard." I just want my energy to be felt. Just like I talked about my mom, there's no statue of her. There's no nothing out there. Her friends didn't, no disrespect, her friends don't call me. They don't, you know what I mean? But her energy is still felt. So I want
Wow.
my energy to just still be felt. And I'm not gonna lie, I only came to that conclusion because as a young lad, I worked somewhere, and I transformed the place. I got the place booming. The place was packed. I said, "Yo, they need to put a statue up there." And then one of the bosses is a hater, came through and said, "Yeah, you're doing a great job, but you could do this better." And I'm like, "Bro, how much better do you want this place to be? This is the number one place. This place is packed." And then in that moment, I was like, "You know what? That's my fault because I let my ego get too big, and I said I wanted a statue." And people told me like, "Yo, you should get a statue of you out there." And I'm like, "Ah, nah, it's all right." And then I went to go visit the other day. It's in the dump. I was like, "Yeah, that's on me." So I just want my energy to be felt. I don't want to be remembered. I want my energy to be felt. So I like, as we're building the legacy, as I'm watering the grass is gonna get passed down to the next person, and the next person. I want them to just continue keeping care. So when someone says, "Why do we take care of this grass?" Because it's your grass, and that's because I took care of the grass, and I passed it down to the next person. They passed it down to the next person. They pass. So there's no real reason why we take care of the grass. We just take care of the grass because we're supposed to take care of the grass. So
Nice.
damn.
All right.
Hold on before you go. What was the first question again? What's the dumbest thing you did?
Oh yeah. What is the dumbest thing you've ever? What is the dumbest decision you made that somehow worked out anyways?
I don't know, brother. I think a lot of the times I'm not gonna lie to you, God be on my side, so I do be making some mistakes, but it works out. So
Shit.
so I'll just
I
leave it
could tell.
like
I
that.
could tell you right now, off rip, dumbest decision I made was joining the military, but it
Nah.
worked out. Brother.
Thank you
When
for
you
your
went
service again.
when you welcome. When you in backwoods Georgia, summertime heat, and a wild boar is chasing you in the middle of the night, boy, let me tell you,
Yeah, I bet.
you contemplating life. It's like
Yeah.
why you fall into a ditch, spider webs. You talking to yourself, sitting in a ditch, and like why is there even a ditch here? Yeah, no, but it worked out.
It
In the
worked
end,
out.
it all worked out.
No, you know
Last
what?
two questions.
Hold on, before you say it, I will say, as a young lad, um, it's not really that dumb, but it did teach me something. Long story short, it taught me to pay attention to what people say. Randomly, my dad had told me, he said, "Yo, whenever you need a ride, when you get to Forest Hills, let me know. I'll come pick you up." And I thought that was weird because he never offered that before. So I hung out with my friends. That was my fault. I get to Forest Hills. I used my last couple of change and called them and I said, "Hey, there's no bus. Can you come pick me up?" And then he asked me the dumb question. "So there's no bus?" I said, "I wouldn't be calling you if there was a bus." "Yeah, so there's no bus." He's like, "Well, I'm in bed, so you sure there's no bus?" And when he said, "Are you sure there's no bus?" I was like, "All right, man, I'll see you when I get home. The bus is here." I hung up the phone and I walked from Forest Hills all the way to the crib. At that time, the middle part of Forest Hills was kind of dangerous because they had projects, and I was like, "God, please just let me get home safe."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was a dumb decision, but it did teach me. It worked out, and it did teach me, yo, when people say things they don't normally say, just pay attention for the rest of the day what's going on because this ain't it.
Yeah. All right. Let's start to wrap it up. Two more questions that I have for you. Well, one's a question, another one's a fill in the blank. Um, which one you want to do first? Fill in the blank or the question? Last question.
Now let's do the question. Fill in the blank sound like it's gonna be a little fun thing to wrap up the
All
pod.
right.
Nice for editing.
So so let's so the question is, what is your legacy moment?
Damn, I should have been going with this last. But what do you mean by that? Break that down.
So in essence, your legacy moment is a specific instance, not a phase, not a season that made the that made you who you are, or that
Okay.
moment where you felt like, yo, this is it. That's that legacy moment. Not saying that's it, it's over,
No,
but
yeah.
like you knew that was it.
I think the legacy moment was the day my boy said he's gonna bulk, and I said no. I'm gonna get shredded. I'm gonna lose this weight. Um I'm gonna get the six pack. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna just because I inspired so many people, including myself, man. It just I I, I don't want to take away from anybody's journey, but had I not did that and then got other people to start working out or coming to the gym with me, man, I put a lot of money in people's pockets. You know, the gym owes me some money. Let me tell you, the gym owes me some money. I got a lot of people to sign up, but I think the legacy moment for me was that because that's when that um shout out to Kobe, that Mamba mindset just kicked in. You know what I mean? That the Phoenix was it was time for the Phoenix to rise in that
Yeah.
moment. Like it was time for me to make a change in my life. It was time for me to make change in my health, fitness, and all of that. Like even to this day, I still preach about people being in shape and being healthy. I show my workouts and stuff like that. It started the vibes. In hindsight, it started the energy coming forward. So and then now, I got my son talking about he's a muscle machine. He likes to eat his protein. My man eats his bananas. Like he'll ask me, what does this food do? What does that? And I'm able to tell him. So I think in that moment, that question that was asked of me, um, no, that statement of I'm gonna bulk, and then my brain saying no, we're gonna stay on this cut and lose this
Yeah.
weight, just put me on this phenomenal journey that I'm still on today. So I could have easily just said, yo, let's bulk this year too, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I agree. And just in having the conversation with you, I feel like that was the moment where a lot of things shifted
Yeah.
and you was able to like kind of come clear mind with the whole thing, right? And
Yeah.
you're able to see something without you even realizing that was a thing that was missing.
Yep.
And that essentially is a legacy moment
Yep.
because everything changed in the legacy right then and there.
That's fact. I
A
haven't think
clothing
about
line
that. I
ca a
like that.
clothing
Yeah.
line came out. Fatherhood was actually more clearer now, your health came into perspective, and going back to how we started, you wanna just, as a creator, water your grass, but watering the grass is just you in that moment saying, "Ooh, I need to water my grass."
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go water yours over there because you keep flip flopping. You got brown patches all over the place because one second you're bulking, one next you shredding, and then I can't even find you.
Yeah.
All right. So let me just water my grass. Worry about me and mine, and then we'll talk later on if
That's
you're
it.
around. If you're
That's
still
it.
about this life. So let's wrap it up with a segment where it's fill in the blank. It's based off of define it, build it, live it, right? So the define it part, fill in this blank. Legacy is
Creating something for the future.
nice. The build it pillar. Right now I'm building
Right now, I'm building a better future by making sure that I'm taking care of myself mentally and physically.
and the live it moment is I'm trying to live it by
Setting the positive vibes, man, just setting the energy so that the future generation understands the amazing life they can live by just getting things done.
man. I couldn't even say it even any
That's
better.
it.
Um I appreciate you for
Appreciate you.
sliding through. Before we wrap this whole thing up, I just want the people to know every time we do this, every time we pull somebody into this space, I leave with something I didn't know before, right? It's not strategy, it's not tactic. We get that anywhere and everywhere under the sun. It's a reminder that legacy isn't built in the big moments. My man Renard moment changed the moment he made a decision. A simple decision put his legacy in motion. And he's been living it in that sense of watering grass. not the physical grass itself, even though he does it with his son. It's the life's grass, his legacy grass, teaching that in the moment so that Ramses understands, like, this is yours. This little piece of patch to somebody else is just a patch of grass.
Sir.
But to me, it's the vibe, it's the life, it's the legacy. Everything around it is around this patch of grass, right? It's built in the daily moments and the decisions he makes every morning when he wakes up, when he's having those hard conversations to make sure that even when Ramsey's pissing him off with this penmanship joint, sends him off to bed, that boy know, like, nah. I'm gonna drive you crazy right now until you come and tell me what you tell me all the time. You love me. And he makes that decision to go up there and have that conversation with that young man, because that's part of the legacy that he's leaving forward. Because he's defined what legacy means to him. He knows what it is to build his legacy. He knows what it is to live that legacy, one vibe at a time, good people. That's what he told you. The promises you kept when nobody was watching. Today's guest remind us of that. Renaud isn't building a legacy by accident. He's building it in the same way he built his body, his brand, and his business, through daily discipline, consistent action, and the kind of faith that shows up even when the results haven't caught up yet. He's doing it for his boys, his wife, as annoying as she may be, but he loves her, right? He's doing it for the people who'll never know his name, but will feel the impact and the vibes that he's leaving behind. That's the move, good people.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to let him close out and tell us where we could find him and what's the next steps for Galactic Vibes.
I was about to say, after you said that, I don't got nothing to say. We could just end it right here. Sheesh. My man made me about to lick myself up. I'm about to say that's me. But no, for real. You can find me on Instagram, Galactic Protein, on IG. What's next is, we're getting ready for states, which is in November. So if you go on my IG, you'll check out the last meet's results. I posted all my workouts, everything like that tomorrow. Whenever you see this, the final video will be up. I need to post it, and then we're doing states. And then as for the brand, like I said, there's more shirts coming out. There's gym shirts, there's regular going out shirts. We're doing all of that stuff. So be on the lookout for that. The link will be in the description. So everything's in the link for Galactic Protein on IG. I will also send it to Kevin, so he has the link for the shirt. So hopefully he could put it in the description. So you could, if you want to go directly straight to it, you can just click on the link and go directly straight to it. So with this being said, also I want to say thank you for the opportunity for having me. And then also shout out to everyone that's ever helped me in my life. Granted, we'd be here all day if I mentioned everybody, but shout out everybody that's ever helped me in my life, whether we cool now or not cool. The vibes was there when things were getting done. So I appreciate you. And thank you for your good time, man. Thank you for listening to this episode and watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, sir. If this conversation gave you something to think about, don't just sit with it. Write it down, share it, act on it, because the person next to you might be in need to hear this more than you even did. Legacy is not a destination, it's a decision made today. All right? So, go ahead, subscribe like my man said to Dear Legacy, drop a comment, follow us on social media, and share it with somebody that's building the legacy in real time. Until then, keep grinding, keep shining, go define it, build it, live it. It's your boy Kevin B. the Brand. See you next week. Peace.
Peace. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.